There is also this from outside the realm of the hearings and the motions. It involves Bryan Kohberger well before November 13th. 2022, before that quadruple murder happened, and specifically his interactions with a woman who believes that Kohberger was spying on her electronically in her own home, told the police that she thought Kohberger was watching her on her home surveillance cameras, that she had asked him to help install for her safety. The irony.
Well, hello there. How is everyone? I hope you're all well. You amazing, amazing, beautiful, wonderful people. It's Sunday, baby. It's Sunday. And this brings this entire week to an official close. Did I say you're looking amazing? Because you are. Oh, my word. We're getting into some meat and potatoes this morning, aren't we? And some of you will have already seen people talking about this. And you know me, sometimes I'm first, sometimes I'm a little bit behind. But today I'm a little bit behind. And what am I talking about? I hear you say, get on with that house. Well, you'd have seen at the beginning. You'd have seen Ashleigh Banfield talking. She was talking about Bryan Kohberger. But what was she talking about? Some of you may not, because you've been living under a rock and you haven't heard this story. But there was somebody who was a colleague of Bryan Kohberger's over at Washington. And she felt that someone was sneaking into her room, moving stuff. A bit like a poltergeist. You know, because they move stuff around. Naughty ghosts. Actually, noisy. Poltergeist means noisy ghost. Anyway, that's by the by. Yeah, so basically she felt that someone was going into her house and moving stuff about. So who did she go to? Who did she go to? Did she go to the freaky man? The freaky man who was weird, strange, unapproachable, an incel perhaps? Someone who didn't get on with women? No, she went to Bryan. Now, some would have you believe that those two people coexist. They're the same. They're one and the same. The incel, stalker, maniac, unapproachable, all that. Cannibal, even. We've heard people say that he is a cannibal. It's not yet to be proven, but again, must by the by, because some people, they don't need proof. They just need someone to say something, and then it's gospel. And I hear that they're currently looking for Dave Bautista, as he was apparently over at the Banfield. Not Banfield, he wasn't doing anything with her. He was on the Banfield, apparently, and involved in the Idaho 4 case. Naughty Dave Bautista. I always thought Dave Bautista was alright. I saw him on like that programme with Bear Grylls, and he seemed like a bit of a big, massive, cuddly teddy bear, not a brutal killer Odinist. But anyway, back, I digress. So this person felt that someone was going into her apartment, moving stuff about, so she went to Bryan. She went to Bryan and said, Bryan, mate, I don't suppose you can do me a favour. I need you to come into my home and install some cameras. Install some cameras to make sure that I'm safe. And if someone comes in, they'll get found out, because we'll have cameras. But a trusted source, a trusted person, has gone to Ashleigh Banfield and said, look, this story is now changed. It's all changed because this person now claims that Bryan Kohberger was stalking her, because it was him who was breaking into the house and moving stuff around, and went to him to install cameras to try and catch himself. That's the story. That's what we're supposed to be believing now. That's the narrative that Ashleigh Banfield is trying to push hard. She does love Bryan Kohberger, and it would appear that she likes talking about him nearly as much as I do. I can't have his children. She can. Before any of you lot start talking in the comments, because I know it's coming. But look, I just want fair and just. She don't want fair and just. She just wants someone hanging from a tree on fucking fire, and that's wrong. But this is my question. This is how I feel about this entire situation. Firstly, the situation hasn't been proven. We don't know whether this person exists. There's been nobody come forward. There's been no names come out and say, look, I'm the person. They just go secretly as a trusted source to the likes of News Nation. They're the people they go to, and they keep everything else quiet, hush. No one else gets air about it. No one else knows anything about it. That's the power of being Ashleigh Banfield and News Nation. But anyway, so Bryan Kohberger, he's only in this place for about 6 months. And in 6 months, he manages to go into this female's house. He's sneaking in, moving stuff around, but builds enough of a relationship with her that she trusts him enough to enter into her property and sets up cameras. while simultaneously skulking over to Moscow, Idaho, and checking out the 1122 King Road, perhaps building a relationship with somebody over there that goes massively wrong. Kenneth Main said something about some random pizza story where he turns up and he's like, "Hi, I'm Brian, I have pizza." Maddie shuns him, he hits the fucking roof, and the rest is history. Some weird fucking police kind of story where they say this is usually when there's a female victim and there's a male perpetrator, there's a relation. It's to do with love. I love you, I don't love you. Well, there's a problem. That sort of stuff. But with this, it's all about timing. How did Bryan... And again, that is while simultaneously being a TA, doing his marking his papers, doing his own fucking schooling, and finding his feet around this area, so on and so forth. You know, this guy is a fucking multitasker and a half, because I can't even walk and talk without struggling. But this motherfucker, he is going around doing everything. He is building relationships, he is setting up cameras, he is going into this house and moving stuff around to build up that relationship while doing this stuff over 1122 King Road. Maybe that's why he didn't think about some of the things that he clearly forgot in the Idaho 4 case, like driving his own car. Maybe he was so busy he didn't think that was a bad idea. The knife sheath situation, maybe he did, you know what I mean? But what I will say is, if Bryan Kohberger was just somebody who was struggling, he had something deep and dark inside him, and he was planning on a murder, then why wouldn't he have just killed the person who he was stalking, going into a house, moving stuff around, putting cameras in the house, surveillance? Wouldn't that have been somebody, bearing in mind that I'm guessing that they had already told people that they would perhaps knew that someone was watching them, that would have been a perfect candidate. I don't understand why you sink all this work, all this effort over here and do all this, but then you leave them and you go over here into a state that's from no death penalty to actual death penalty, and commit a heinous crime over here with people that you don't have any form of connection with, and the shit hits the fan. I don't buy it. I struggle with it, and I could have drawn this video out to be 10 hours long, talking about why I struggle with this entire situation. When we build so much sort of thoughts and feelings off of pieces of information that aren't, how can I say, they aren't proven, like this story with this girl with the cameras. Like, I don't understand why this person hasn't come out and made a public statement saying, look, Bryan Kohberger is somebody that I trusted him, and I trusted him because of this, that and the other. There just seems to be a lot of stuff going on in the background where we haven't really had anybody come out forward and completely condemn Bryan. We've had some weird and random stories, like the girl from Swipe Left platform saying that he was trying to tickle her and stuff like that, which was a little bit odd. But he was, you know what I mean? Is it a bit odd? I'm sure that some of it, a bit childish, perhaps. I'm trying to think whether I tickled anybody. Never used Tinder, is it? Never used Tinder. Swipe Left. Anyway, I digress again. So yeah, Bryan Kohberger and Ashleigh Banfield are still at loggerheads, it would seem, as Ashleigh Banfield continues her pitchfork-wielding Bryan Kohberger. He did this crime, and we know he did it because he also stalked this person. He was stalking her, and he installed cameras to watch her, and all this sort of shit. Anyway, that's what it is. Until I see absolute, undeniable proof, then I'm calling this one as utter shit. Let me know down below. Do you call it utter shit, or do you think that this was a crime in the making? Was this his practice run? Did he have one or the other, and he decided to go with this one rather than kill this one? Why is this girl still alive if Bryan Kohberger was some psychopathic killer and he actually had access into her house? Don't make sense to me. Let me know down below, and I'll catch you all tomorrow.